Now, welcome back to Apostle One Tutorial. Now, as you are following my YouTube channel very well, you know that I'm giving you step-by-step approach on how you can understand sequence and series very well. Yes, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you introduce it to friends. Statistically, you know that this particular year, students failed most of the core math questions, right? Share the video to your friends and then let all of us have make a good use of this particular video so that we can all pass the WASI. That is why I'm doing this voluntary work for you. There. Now, at this particular point, I'm going to talk about the relationship between the end term and then the sum of the end term. Now, that is a relationship between the end term and sum of the end term here. Let's look at this thing very carefully. Now, don't forget that the end term, we have a situation where some of the end term will be given and they will ask you to find the end term. How are we going to solve such question? A situation where some of the end term is given, the sequence was not given, some of the end term will be given, and they will ask you to find the number of what? Term. Yes. So let's look at something. Follow me closely. Now, let's say we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Now, this one can be applied to both AP and GP. So when I teach it here, it's the same for exponential sequence. So follow me closely. Now, don't forget this one is my T1, this one is my T2, this one is my T3, this one is my T4 in that order. So we can get Tn here, Tn, that is the end term. And then what's the first term? The first term will give us what? T1, right? The first term is T1. Now what's the second term? The second term is we are adding the first two terms. That is this one plus this. We're going to have T1 plus what? T2. You get it? Good. Now follow me closely. Follow me closely. Now don't forget when you're looking for the third term, you're going to give us what? T3. Okay, T1 plus T2 plus what? T3. You see how simple that thing is? Now let's look at something. Let me do some small deduction here. Let's look at something. Now, what is S2? I want to write all this one in terms of what? In terms of sum and then the end term. Now don't forget the x1 is the same as t1, right? So which means this t1 is the same as x1. So I'm going to replace the t1 with x1. So we're going to have sum what? 2. Now let me make the t2 the subject. What are we going to get? I'm going to get s2 minus s1 is equal to what? T2. Now let's pay attention to this thing carefully. Let's pay attention to this thing carefully. So this one means that T2 is the same as S2 minus X1. Let's confirm whether it is true. What is T2 in this particular diagram? The T2 is 4. I want to confirm this, whether this one is true. Now, what is X1? S1 in this diagram is T1, that is 2. Now, what is S2? Don't forget S2 is T1 plus T2. So that one will give us 2 plus what? 4, which will give us what? Which will give us 6. Now, when we subtract S2 and then S1, what are you going to get? S2 minus X1. What are you going to get? S2 is 6 minus X1. X1 is 2. So what are you going to get? We're going to get 4, right? Now, what is the meaning of the 4? Don't forget the 4 is the same as what? T2. So we can easily conclude simple that this particular statement is true because the S4 is 4, S2 is 4, and then S2 minus X1 is also giving us what? 4. I don't want to waste much time proving this particular thing. That's why I'm using numbers to prove before I will make a general conclusion. So follow me closely. So which means this particular statement is true. Now let's look at something. Now S3. Don't forget S is the same as S1 plus S2 plus what? t what 3. Before I can get the sum of the first 3 terms, I need to add the first term, second term, and the third term before I can get the sum of the first 3 terms, right? Now, so with this one, let's see. Now, what is t1 plus t2? Now, t1 plus t2 is the same as the sum of the second term. So I'm going to have s3 is equal to t1 plus t2, which is the same as s2 plus the t3. So how are we going to get a t3? It means s3 minus s2 is equal to t3. Hey, you are not paying attention. You are looking somewhere. Now, so we can conclude that. Now, let me write this one here. We can conclude that the t3 is now equal to s3 minus s2. Now, what does it mean? It means that, now let me write the formulas here, then we make a general conclusion. Now, it means that the T2 is S2 minus X1. Now, T3 is equal to what? S3 minus S2. That's what I'm getting. Then I can get the T1. Then what will be T1? T1 will be what? S1 minus what? S0. Then that's how I can do it, because if you look at the pattern here, whenever here is 2, this one is 2, and this one is what? They reduce the 2 by 1. Whenever here is 3, this one is 3, then reduce the 3 by what? By 1. So whenever I have the T4, I can write it like what? S4 minus what? S3. Are you following? We are making deduction. Whenever I have T5, I can make it S5 minus S4. Then what is going to happen? When I'm looking for Tn, then the Tn is supposed to be the same as what? S. Here is 5, here is 5, right? So here will be Sn. Because what is here the same as what is here? Now minus S what? 4. Now from 5 we get 4. From 4 we get 3. From 3 we get 2. Then how do we get the 4 here? In terms of this one, it means I need to subtract 1 from here. When you subtract 1 from 5, you get 4. So it means I need to subtract 1 from the n. So here will be n minus 1. Here will be n minus 1. And this one becomes the general formula, or the general differences between the n term and then the sum of the n term. I hope it's simple. So if I have sub n is equal to Sn minus what? Sn minus 1. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. I hope you are following. Now let me add this particular thing to it. Don't forget that they can ask a whole lot of questions on this. Don't forget that we can also find the common difference. What's the common difference? The common difference is minus what? Sn minus 1. Don't forget this one. Don't forget that we made a conclusion about the common difference. And whenever the common difference is constant, the sequence becomes what? An AP. You get it? You can use the same approach for exponential sequence. Yes, this is so simple. You get it? Yes. Follow me closely. Now in this particular point, in the next video, I am going to bring you some questions on how we can apply this one. I'm going to teach you everything about sequence and series, so that when you meet any sequence and series question, you'll be able to solve everything. Yes. So in the next video, I'm going to explain how we can use this one, or how we can identify questions like that, and how we can apply this one to solve. Yes, follow me closely. This is Apostle 1 tutorial. See you in the video. Share. Bye-bye.